Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427TheThomasFan1 to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, like what we do on our channel and want to see more videos from us? Then not to worry about a thing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that way you can see more of our videos coming up very soon. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and well, looks like June is already behind us as we speak, and we're now in July as we speak, so yeah. And I hope all of you guys have had a really great start to that month for sure, and I hope all of you guys had a really good 4th of July this year, so yeah. But I guess for me, seeing how it is a brand new month for sure, I think it's about time that we get ourselves in with, of course, pretty much some brand new releases that just hit the big screen as of now. So yeah, new batch of movies that are coming out for this month, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, I say we're gonna be in for one hell of a treat for sure, because there's gonna be a lot to get through by far. So yeah. Either way, I think we're actually gonna be in for something really quite nice for sure. So yeah, and what better way to kick things off right now than, well, with pretty much a little something that you wouldn't expect to actually see to kickstart this new month for sure. And pretty much stop me if you actually hear this before. Pretty much the latest movie that we're going to be talking about here today is, of course, well, a group of people trapped on an island filled with dinosaurs. Yeah, do you see where I'm getting at by far? I mean, really? This is how we're going to start this new month off? With another one of these? I mean, my God, as if the last one that I actually talked about years ago wasn't enough by far. I mean, just when we thought we were done with these, looks like they found a way to actually do another one. And given to how much money they're making every single time they came out, that's not saying much by far. But yeah, given to, of course, that little hint that I actually gave for sure, I think it will give you the idea, of course, what I'm going to be talking about for today's movie that I just saw not too long ago for sure. And in case you actually don't, well, let me put it pretty much in a much more simpler term for sure. Given to what I just said, I think that will, of course, be the subject for today's movie that I just got to see not too long ago. And, well, Universal, I still love you. And whenever you actually put out a really great movie, I mean, really great movie by far, I always give you all of my joy and happiness and whatever bits of money I actually would give to actually see your movies for sure. And you know what, Universal, I will say this pretty much before you knew what you have. you patented it, you packaged it, you slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. Well, Jurassic World Rebirth. Yeah. I think it will give you the idea, of course, what I'm talking about. So yeah, Jurassic World Rebirth is the movie we're going to be talking about here today. Not only is this the latest film that just came out not too long ago, but it's also pretty much the latest installment, or I guess in this case, another sequel to, of course, the well-known movie that we all know and love, which is, of course, Jurassic Park. So yeah. It's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, so before I begin talking about this latest movie, I guess I might as well get some things cleared up real fast. So yeah, what can I say about the original Jurassic Park that a lot of people haven't already for sure? Well, quite a whole lot, actually, and even to this day, ever since it first came out, well over 30 years ago, it is still, even to this day, an absolute icon of a movie by far. Just an iconic masterpiece that we all know and love, and really actually gave us something really creative for sure. It's got a really great story, some interesting characters, and the best part, pretty much some really great effects by far that makes you feel like you're actually seeing these dinosaurs up close and personal. And pretty much of anything, it's definitely in the best possible way for sure, because yeah, that film alongside plenty of others like Terminator 2, for example, are definitely the films that actually revolutionize using CGI in of course, movies nowadays for sure, to which, yeah, it's been going on even to this day, and we are, thanks to this film for sure. So yeah, either way, the original Jurassic Park is still an icon of a movie that could never be topped for sure. But it's too bad that we could have actually said that for the majority of the Jurassic Park sequels that we've been getting afterwards for sure. Yeah, I'm not kidding when I actually say it. Ever since the first film came out years ago, the sequels that followed afterwards, yeah, let's just say they wanted to try to, of course, pretty much capture the same magic and feeling of course, of what the first film did, but oddly enough, again, pretty much it really doesn't know how to for sure, and that's why I think many of them actually suffer big time when they first came out for sure. But granted, not all of them actually suffer for sure. I mean, pretty much of anything, the closest thing we actually did get to a good Jurassic Park sequel by far is, well, obviously enough, the first Jurassic World movie we got, and I will acknowledge, for while I can't actually say it's by all means a great film looking back on it, I definitely think it is definitely the second best out of all these films by far, and yeah, with what it actually has to offer, it actually does come close to actually being a pretty good Jurassic Park sequel for sure. Not by much, but still fun to watch for sure, so yeah, and as for the rest of these films that came out afterwards, well, quite obviously, Lost World and Fallen Kingdom I kind of thought were just at best, while the other two that we actually got, Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World Dominion, the latter of which I did talk about, yeah, they're just bad for sure, just by all means terrible for sure, and yeah, to quote Ian Malcolm, looking back, of course, Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World Dominion, yeah, to quote Ian Malcolm, that is one big pile of shit. Yeah, I think it will give you the idea, of course, that front. So yeah, even after the first Jurassic Park movie came out, aside from Jurassic World, by all means, most of the Jurassic Park sequels that we actually got really do suffer a whole lot from what I can gather, but there's no use in stopping them for sure, because they always make tons and tons of money ever since they came out for sure, so why bother? So So yeah, but of course, when it comes to, of course, this movie, by far, when I actually heard the news about this movie for sure, I got a little conflicted and wonder on how it's going to turn out once it actually does come around for sure, and yeah. Honestly, I think that's pretty much how I actually felt when I actually first heard the news about it for sure, especially with what I've been through with the last film that I talked about a few years ago for sure. But I still want to give like a fair shot regardless, so yeah, luckily enough, I did manage to get myself in literally pretty early for sure, long before a large crowd of people actually came in to see the movie with around the same time I did for sure, and yeah, I did manage to officially go and see this movie for myself, all thanks to the kind people at Crown City Cinemas as usual, so yeah, and of course, now that I've officially got back from, of course, seeing it, I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie now that I finally got the chance to see it? Well, I think I'm gonna make the argument that, surprisingly enough, I do think this film is actually pretty much a massive improvement compared to the last film for sure, as it does have some good stuff in it that I actually really do admire. But the rest, on the other hand, given to the entire movie as a whole, yeah, it's pretty much what you expect for any Jurassic Park sequel for sure, so yeah. It's not by all means terrible for sure, and thank God I didn't hate it for sure, but it's not really that good either, so just kind of from what I can gather for sure, so yeah. It's pretty much what I can say of course, that front. Alrighty then, so yeah, now that I've officially got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure. For starters is, of course, the story, and honestly, to me, I really do felt the story in this movie is kind of structured out way too cluttery from what I can gather for sure. In fact, literally from what I can gather, it really has a hard time, of course, what it's trying to accomplish by far, and given to all of that, well, I mean, granted, there are some parts in the story that I really do think work quite well from what I've actually seen. In fact, some of which were taken from scrapped ideas from, of course, the previous Jurassic Park movies that never actually came into a light for sure. And for while I am glad they finally took a note on that, and I'm glad to see they're incorporating quite well in, of course, this movie. The rest, on the other hand, yeah, I just kind of felt they really, it really is way too cluttered from what I could gather. I really don't think it accomplished quite well with, of course, what it has to do for sure. In fact, if anything, I kind of feel pretty much, I do kind of feel rather underwhelmed from what I've actually seen for sure. I mean, they could have actually done some stuff that actually could make it a bit more interesting, but it hardly ever does that from what I can gather, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the story for, of course, this movie. Now, as for the writing, I have to say, well, I guess for one thing, I think from what I can gather, pretty much from my knowledge, they actually did bring back pretty much David Koepp, who actually did pretty much write the original Jurassic Park movie for sure, and I will acknowledge that he actually is actually a very talented writer for sure, and have actually crafted some really nice screenplays for some really great movies for sure. So for while I am glad to see he came back to write this movie, if only I wish he would actually provide some great material to work around with for sure, because if anything, yeah, most of the time from what I can gather, it's almost like when he's crafting this movie together, it's almost like he pretty much took like several drafts and even some pinpoints from pretty much the second Jurassic Park movie, The Lost World, and just slap it all together, and of course, this movie for sure, and yeah. And for while I do think some parts of it are thankfully a little different, aside from that film, yeah, it's almost like I'm actually rewatching The Lost World for sure, without anything new to add in for sure, so yeah, I mean, I do get that pretty much he wants to try to do something creative and new with, of course, this movie now that he came back. Then what the fuck is he actually doing, making pretty much a crappy screenplay like this for sure? Well, I mean, I guess given to, of course, most of the others that he actually did beforehand, I guess he would do anything for, of course, pretty much a paycheck nowadays for sure, and yeah, every single line from what I could gather to even some action being written out, and even some comedy bits, yeah, I really don't think work as a whole for sure, and yeah, I guess it's pretty much way too generic and bland from what I could gather. But again, pretty much, if anything, mosquitoes, the genetics always write themselves for sure, So yeah, either way, with what I've actually seen for the story and the writing for sure, I kind of felt it's a little bit too cluttered from what I can gather. And for while I give credit that they actually wanted to try to do something new and inventive for sure, at times I really don't think they actually know how to do that. And based on what I've actually seen alone, yeah, maybe I think they could have actually scrapped what they actually got for sure and just start from scratch all over again and actually write something good for sure that is actually very easy to follow. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, so yeah, now that I've got these, now that I got those aspects out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things I need to talk about for sure, which next up is, of course, the characters, and well, I guess from what I can gather, the characters from what I've actually seen, well, I mean, they're not bad per se. In fact, some of them have actually does have some good ideas for sure. But based on what I've actually seen alone, yeah, I guess pretty much from what I can gather, I guess they hardly have anything to give off some sort of characteristics for sure, let alone anything that would actually make them interesting for sure. So yeah, I can easily tell, of course, pretty much on what they are for sure. In fact, I think it's a little bit too obvious from what I can gather for sure. In fact, maybe I think with a whole lot more development that would give them something that I can actually relate to, then I think that would actually make a whole lot more sense for sure. But for what it is, I really hardly think they actually did anything that actually makes them likable and interesting for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for that aspect alone for sure. Now, as for the actors that came aboard to play all these characters, yeah, most of the ones that they actually brought in for sure, including some A-listers for sure, I think they pretty much range from, of course, fine to just standard from what I can gather for sure. In fact, hardly anything, pretty much anything from them for sure really actually makes me want to believe they actually want to give out a very impressive performance for sure, and that's why I actually find a little bit too uneasy, of course, on my front from what I can gather. I mean, granted, they're not all bad. They're just range from fine to just standard from what I can gather. But however, if there's one good thing that I actually do think that actually is the saving grace for, of course, this movie, is that when it comes to the acting, I will give credit that two of the actors by far are actually massive standouts in, of course, this movie. Like, of course, Scarlett Johansson, to which I will acknowledge pretty much, if anything, I have talked about her before in most of the other movies that I actually talked about for sure. And I guess for the sake of this movie, I really do think she actually gave off a pretty good performance for sure. I mean, yeah, despite the crap material that she actually has to work with for sure, I really do think she actually does work quite well in, of course, this movie, and actually try her best to make her character pretty much her own for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, Scarlett Johansson, I will have to say, actually is quite nice for sure, and actually does give off a pretty good performance. And I guess pretty much if anything, another massive standout, aside from Scarlett Johansson, would definitely have to be Jonathan Bailey for sure. And yeah, there's no doubt in my mind, I really do think he really gave off a good performance in, of course, this movie. And I really do think he really is standing out quite well with what he's actually been giving for sure. And I really do admire on what he's actually done for sure. I mean, granted, I think I know deep down inside, I think he's just only counting down the days until Wicked for Good. Which is ironic because, before you guys ask, yes, they did play the trailer for Wicked for Good before this movie even starting for sure. And trust me, I'm still excited to see it for sure, but we'll just have to wait until November for sure. But anyways, back to Jonathan Bailey and, of course, this movie. Yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind that much like Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, I really do think gave off a pretty good performance for sure, and I really do think he really is putting off a lot of effort to really make his performance stand out quite well, and try his best to make his character work for sure. And that's something I really do admire for sure, and I really love on what he's actually done for sure. So yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind, Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey, I really do think are the two massive standouts when it comes to the acting for sure. Aside from that, pretty much of anything, it's pretty much what I can say for the characters and the actors for sure. Yeah, they could have actually done some things to make the characters all the more interesting for sure. And I guess if anything, the acting's not bad, it just ranged from fine to just standard at best for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, well, now that we've got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Actually, quite a whole lot for sure. In fact, I guess next up we have to, I should definitely talk about the production design for sure. And, well, I guess from what I've actually seen, I really do think the production design in this movie is actually really quite nice for sure. Literally from, of course, what I've actually seen by far. Again, aside from, of course, some scrap material they wanted to work on for the previous Jurassic Park movies that are thankfully incorporated into this one that I really do love and admire for sure. I will say, pretty much for the production design overall, I really do think is actually really nicely done for sure. Literally with, of course, pretty much every single set design they actually did, which is very nicely done, and even some great location scouting from what I can gather. I really do think is actually very nicely done for sure, and I really do think they really are going somewhere to make this movie look good for sure. And yeah, pretty much, if anything, I really do think they did an impressive job with those factors by far for the production design for sure. And I guess pretty much, if anything, I really do think they really did a fine job, and of course, pretty much doing exactly that, and actually giving off a really nice look and feel for the of course, the environment that the movie takes place in, which is actually quite nice. And of course, the visuals and the effects, I have to say, well, I will have to say that, well, since pretty much these movies actually do involve dinosaurs for sure, of course the visuals and the effects in this movie is actually very nicely done for sure. I'm granted, some of them I do think are a little bit too off-putting and could use a bit more rendering from what I can gather. But aside from that, I really do love on what they actually did for the visuals and the effects for sure. They really actually did an impressive job to actually make the dinosaurs actually look realistic for sure. And yeah, I really do think they did an impressive job from what I can gather. And yeah, just by seeing them up close, especially the different species for sure. And I mean different species because, well, most of the other dinosaurs that we've actually seen in the previous films, yeah, I mean, they're still there, but I mean, let's face it, we can actually see them coming from like a mile a minute whenever they show up for sure. But some of the new ones they actually added in from what I can gather are actually nicely done for sure. And I really do love for the fact that pretty much if you really want to pretty much showcase dinosaurs in a Jurassic Park movie, you can't always just limit to, of course, the exact same species of dinosaurs like in the first film for sure. You gotta mix it up a bit with, of course, some different species for sure. And that's the one thing I really do, yeah. And I guess despite my fault on, of course, each and every single one of those sequels for sure, I really do think showing off new kinds of dinosaurs are actually the best parts for sure. And I guess it's no exception with, of course, this movie for sure. So yeah, they actually do look nice from what I can gather, and I really do think they actually do their absolute best to actually make them suitable for what our heroes have to confront for sure. And that's the and that's the one thing I actually do admire the most when it comes to this movie for sure. And again, definitely one thing I'll definitely give this film credit for, hands down. So yeah, either way, I really do think the visuals and the effects in this movie are actually nicely done for sure. And I really love on what they did with the each and every single dinosaur they actually provide for sure. Because yeah, if we want to see a Jurassic Park movie, of course we're going to get dinosaurs for sure. I mean, who doesn't? I'm looking at you, Jurassic World Dominion. Yeah, with pretty much your lack of dinosaurs and you put more focus on locusts. If I ever come across the person who actually demand the people making these movies to actually give us locusts instead of dinosaurs, I'm gonna punch them right in the eye. Hard. Very, very fucking hard. But yeah, I think it's what I can say for, of course, that aspect for sure. Now, of course, for the direction this film from the to which I should mention right now, aside from David Koepp coming back to write the screenplay for, of course, this movie, they actually did bring in Gareth Edwards to direct this film. And I will say for the direction, of course, of this movie, I mean, I'll give him credit that he really is putting a lot of hard-working effort to really make this movie work quite well. In fact, I've actually seen most of his previous films that he actually did, and I think he did an impressive job with, of course, the ones that he actually did. But I guess pretty much the direction he pulled off, and of course this movie, yeah, it's almost like he actually wanted to try to do the directing style that he did when he did the 2014 Godzilla movie that he did over a decade ago for sure. And sorry, Gareth Edwards, that may have worked well in Godzilla, but it's not going to work in, of course, in a Jurassic Park sequel. So So yeah, I do applaud Gareth Edwards for actually putting a lot of hard-working effort in, of course, directing this film. But it's hardly enough to actually give off some good directing for sure. And that's the one thing I really do think is actually a big downgrade from Why King Gather. So yeah. And of course, the cinematography in this film, well, I mean, it's fine from Why King Gather. I mean, there are some camera shots that I do think are nicely done, but other times probably not so much from Why King Gather. So yeah, not really terrible from Why King Gather, but just fine for what it is. And of course, the editing, I have to say, it's caught up decently for sure. In fact, there are some parts again that I do think could have been cut out of the movie entirely, so that we won't miss a single thing. But most of the others, I have to say, are actually nicely done from Why King Gather. I really do think some parts again, despite how faulty they are actually not that bad from Why King Gather. So yeah. And of course, pretty much to go alongside the film's pacing from Why King Gather, well, I mean, I guess if anything, they are trying to give us something rather unique with, of course, the film's pacing, but it's hardly enough to actually captivate towards, of course, what we want to see for sure. And for that, I really do think it actually does suffer big time that, yeah, let's face it, hardly actually works well to the film's advantage for sure. So yeah, I think it's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, so I guess, if anything, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole. So yeah, overall, I did say it once and I will say it again. I know a lot of us really want to see a real Jurassic Park sequel for sure. Yeah, pretty much one that's not only fun, but also have some semblance of sense, that is not only new and inventive, but can also really capture the love and the spirit of course, the original Jurassic Park movie that we all know and love for sure. Well, I guess for a Jurassic World Rebirth with what we got as of now, I mean, I will say, for while I do think this actually is way better than Dominion that we got a few years beforehand, is pretty much what we would get with, of course, like any other Jurassic Park sequel as a whole for sure. Not only providing some pretty good acting from what I could gather, and some nice effects from what I could gather. It's pretty much what you expect for sure. A cluttered up story, pretty much some uninteresting characters for sure, and moreover, it's just stupid people on an island filled with dinosaurs doing stupid things for sure. And for a while that actually that might be the case with what we got in, of course, this film as a whole. For a while, I do think it does some parts that are actually really nicely done. It does kind of suffer from what most of the other Jurassic Park sequels actually did as well for sure, to which, yeah, in the end, actually does make it, well, not terrible from what I can gather, but not really that great, given to, of course, what I'm actually seeing for sure. And I do find it such a shame from what I can gather, because, yeah, given to what we've actually seen for sure, again, I will give it credit that there are some good stuff in it that I really do love and admire. In fact, yeah, like I said, I do prefer it over the last film that we actually got. But it's hardly enough to say that it's actually a really great movie for sure. I mean, you can actually... yeah, I mean, I guess if anything, the people making these movies think that we can actually see everything that happened in the first film happen again for, of course, these sequels. You can't, but it is one of the reasons on why we're catching on to those. But apparently it doesn't matter anyways, because, well, they keep making money, for sure, so why even, bother, for sure, so yeah, at the end of the day, I can't say, this, film is, by all means, great, for what it is, but it's not terrible, either. I do think I do kind of felt that I have been feeling quite underwhelmed after seeing this movie for sure, and yeah, not really great, but not terrible either, but just somewhere down the middle of that for a while it does have some good stuff in it, is kind of pretty much underwhelming for sure, so yeah. But either way, if that's something that you wouldn't mind for sure, and you still want to see dinosaurs regardless for sure, then I think you're going to get it with, of course, this film. So I say I won't stop you anytime soon. So if that's something up your alley, then by all means, go ahead and do so. You're not going to get much from what I can gather, but you're going to get something that, to me, is kind of alright at best. Not really much to say it's passable, but it is just a decent yet underwhelming Jurassic Park sequel, nonetheless, for sure. And again, it's not really that great from what I've actually seen, but it's not terrible either. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, for my final score. Yeah, I think I might as well give this movie the rating that it deserves. So 5.5 out of 10 for sure. Again, I'm glad to see that this movie is not terrible from what I can gather. And again, I do think it's a massive improvement compared to Jurassic World Dominion that we got a few years ago for sure. So that's something I can actually give credit for, hands down. But I can't necessarily say it's a great movie either, because, yeah, it actually does suffer like what all the other Jurassic Park sequels actually did beforehand, to which I do find it rather underwhelming for sure. Not by much, but only a little from what I can gather, but yeah, either way, I don't think these movies are going to stop anytime soon for sure, because, well, we do want to see dinosaurs on the big screen, so all these Jurassic Park sequels are still gonna make money regardless, and I guess if it is something up your alley, then by all means go ahead and see it for sure. I won't stop you. And I guess pretty much if anything, for me, I think I'm pretty sure we'll know. Pretty much we'll see the day if we'll get a real Jurassic Park sequel that can actually be great for sure. But until then, I think we're going to have to wait a little while longer and give it to the status of these movies for sure. To quote John Hammond, life finds a way. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole. And, oh yeah, I almost completely forgot to mention one thing for sure. If you are planning to go see this movie for yourself for sure, then by all means, stick around before the movie will officially start for sure, because they would actually, pretty much if you do go see this movie for yourself, they will actually pretty much show to you a teaser trailer for the Christopher Nolan movie that we're going to be getting next year called The Odyssey. And let me tell you, I did get to see it around the time I saw this movie, and I will have to say, it looks amazing from what I can gather, and you bet I'm definitely going to go see it once it comes out in 2026 next year for sure. So yeah, and if I am going to see The Odyssey for sure, I know hands down that I'm definitely gonna have to catch an IMAX screening of that Sega movie for sure. So that's something I'm gonna do once it comes out next year for sure. So yeah, it's already on my to-do list for 2026 next year. So we'll see on how it'll go. But until then, pretty much of anything, as usual, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and by all means, what do you think of Jurassic World Rebirth if you've actually seen it for yourself? Do you absolutely really enjoy it? I think it's a really great sequel by far, or do you absolutely hate it and think it's right up there alongside all the other Jurassic Park sequels that we don't want to see more of, hands out, and just, well, stick to the first Jurassic Park movie for sure? Or are you like me and you're somewhere in between where yeah, it's not really that terrible for sure, but it's not really that great, and it is pretty underwhelming for sure. So yeah, let me know down in the comments down below if you've seen Jurassic World Dominion, not Jurassic World Dominion, Jurassic World Rebirth for yourself. Thanks, I finally got it for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and, well, I guess for the next one, maybe I think we'll shift to something good for once, because, well, I guess for the next movie we're going to be talking about, I've been anticipating this for some time, so I guess for the next movie, we're going to make our way back over to DC, except this time, we're not only going to pretty much see a new interpretation of course, pretty much a well-known superhero coming all the way from the planet Krypton, but pretty much a start to a brand new DC cinematic universe with James Gunn at the helm. Yeah, that will give you the idea on what we'll be in for hands out. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427TheThomasFan1 to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and plenty more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyattackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.